Bonjour, my name is Camille and I'm the founder of French Today. At French Today, we only teach one language, French, to one group of people, English speakers. We will teach you French in a way that's logical and makes sense to you. This is not a method that is adapted or translated from older methods or from other languages. It's been uniquely developed and perfected for more than 15 years with just one goal in mind: teaching French to English speakers. So, I want to take a few minutes of your time to explain why, for 80% of you watching this video, this will be your best method to learn French, and why 20% of you will probably want to just move on to another site or company. It all comes down to why you want to learn French. In all honesty, if your goal is to learn French only to read French literature or pass higher-end written exams, then our method might not be the right one for you. However, if you want to learn how to truly interact with French natives, if you want to be able to understand French movies, or if you want to feel confident starting a conversation with that French person sitting next to you, then give me a few minutes and I'll tell you how our approach will make French so much easier for you to learn. First, let me warn you that learning a language like French requires work. Anybody that tells you that you can learn French in 4 weeks is simply lying. Some popular methods and free apps will show you cute pictures and have you learn and repeat words and basic sentences without any grammar context. But that won't take you far. If you want to construct your own sentences and feel confident when speaking and interacting, you really have to grasp the rules which govern the French language. Grammar. And people say my lessons are particularly good at explaining grammar in simple terms. Second, as you may have already found, there's a big difference between understanding written French and actually understanding when people speak French. You might have had some French classes in high school or college. You might be able to read some paragraphs of text and understand the general meaning. Or use some online test and get evaluated as an advanced beginner or intermediate. However, when you hear real French people speak or try to talk to them in French, it's chaos. You don't understand them, and they don't understand you. Sounds familiar? That's because spoken French and written French are very different, more so than in probably any other language. So, let's talk about why the French Today method is so successful. As I mentioned earlier, this method was created from scratch, specifically to teach modern French to English speakers, and as such, was created with a very different approach. Traditionally, teachers learn from teachers. Most teachers learn from older French methods that follow a particular path and logic, often the same one used to teach French school children. I, on the other hand, learned to teach French from the bottom up. I'm a French native. When I arrived in the US 25 years ago, I started giving basic French conversation lessons to adults as a side job. When they had a grammar question I could not explain, I looked around for the answer. I was shocked to find that the documented answer was written in such a convoluted manner that it was complicated to grasp. I really enjoyed the process of explaining these rules using simple words. So I started to develop my own approach for teaching French to adults. For many years, I fine-tuned my explanations, directly based on the feedback I got from my students. Although we do get to the same point, my method first starts by covering each building block progressively and thoroughly, making sure there are no skipped fundamentals before moving on to the next step. You'll notice that I do, in the beginning, spend a lot of time in the present tense. Why? Because this is the tense which is used the most for everyday interactions. In each lesson, I first explain the rule, show you many examples, and then you get to hear and experience these rules within the context of an ongoing story, specifically written to focus on the concepts you just learned. You'll follow the life of the same characters, from the beginner to the advanced levels. Since it's not just theory, but you see everything used within a real story, with real lovable characters, your brain will process the new vocabulary much more efficiently. Another thing about the French Today method is that all the explanations are in English. It's been a long tradition to exclusively teach French in French, even to complete beginners. I don't think this works at all, and many people like you tell me that this can cause real problems. How can you understand anything if you don't understand the words used to explain? It's actually the same thing about grammar. Most methods assume students know or remember what a direct object is, or the difference between an adjective and an adverb. I don't. I start with no assumptions. I explain everything using clear words everybody can understand. I compare everything to English. And then I give you a ton of practice. Written, but also, and more importantly, spoken practice. Another absolute must to learn modern French is to learn it by hearing it. Let's talk about the audio used in most methods out there. Some methods are recorded at slow speeds in a very enunciated way that does not resemble at all how the French speak. A good example, say you want to say that the weather isn't good. Most methods will teach you Il ne fait pas beau. Il n'y a pas de soleil. But the way most French people say it, included my 80-year-old mom, is Il fait pas beau. Y a pas de soleil. Written is the same, but spoken sounds really different. This is why you don't understand French people when they speak. Some other methods are based on free YouTube news clips or French songs. But these are often too fast for beginners or even intermediate students to grasp fully. And worst of all are these apps or websites that use a digital computer voice to speak out written text. Text-to-speech technology has made lots of progress, especially in English. But let me tell you that robots have a long way to go before they can properly pronounce French sentences with liaisons and glidings. That's why the French Today method is entirely recorded by a French native, me again, and not just at one speed, but multiple speeds and levels of enunciation. These are not slowed or sped up. These are separate, distinct recordings. Only the French Today method does this, and as you'll see, the difference is remarkable. The thousands of people who have purchased our method are quite enthusiastic about it. If you go to our website, FrenchToday.com, you'll read hundreds of reviews from certified customers who absolutely love our unique approach to French learning. As of today, we have more than 500 5-star reviews. A common theme you will see in these reviews are the many students who spend months or years learning with other methods or classes without feeling like they made much progress. Then they try our French Today approach and suddenly complex concepts finally make sense and they finally understand modern French pronunciation. As you go through the reviews, you'll also notice our students love the convenience of using our French audio method while grocery shopping, driving their car, or at the gym. That's the advantage of a true audio-based method. You can do it on the go or while traveling, just listening without even needing to be connected to the internet. And to help you move seamlessly from your phone to your computer to your tablet, we've created dedicated mobile apps on iPhone, iPad and Android, as well as desktop apps on Mac and Windows. Purchase an audiobook once and use it on all your different devices in one click at no extra charge. I know this video was a bit long and your time is precious, but I really wanted to let you know why the French Today method is so unique. I know that you have a lot to choose from out there and that it's sometimes hard to determine what tool is right for you. Hopefully, my explanations will have convinced you to look more closely into our method. And to help you make that decision even easier, we make it completely risk-free. If you're not making real progress in French with our method, just ask for a refund and we'll reimburse you entirely within the first 120 days of your purchase. That's 4 full months for you to try it out. You can also download our free 2.5-hour audiobook to try out our method. No email, no registration needed. So, start learning French the smart way today and see what a difference it makes. Au revoir et à bientôt!